My second site visit was to Generation Citizen. And since the four folks who run Generation Citizen aren't together in one space all the time, my collaborative partner fellow, David Moran, offered that I observe their work by reading some materials and looking at some videos of their work with young people. Adapting as groundwater does, I said, great. So, the day of, I already had the idea of them celebrating their year, and David had reserved a room just for our activity. I arrived and met the other three people and preambled by talking about arts-based practices, work spaces, tight versus open objectives, that there is no right or wrong thing to do here, and the value of integrating left and right hemispheres of the brain. First activity was to recall years ago and how something led them to something that eventually led them to work for Generation Citizen. Then they drew pictures from that remembering. Then each person shared something they are proud of in their work and something they really appreciate about the team. Then we did a physical warm-up. Rub hands, shake shoulders, shift weight, roll head. Then a one-word at a time improvised proverb. They created, "The action is louder than the intention." Then we put the drawings on the floor, close to each other, and looked at them and made observations mostly about their formal elements, their similarities and contrasts. Each person chose one of the observations that resonated for them, and I wrote those four on the board. Then they staged a movement vignette with their bodies for each of the four items. Then they decided a sequence of the four vignettes, letting some of the movement aspects help dictate an arc or developmental order in time. We went over the sequence a couple of times, discovered a new flourish here, an expeditious adjustment there. Next, they came together in a huddle and honored the work they do and all who were positively impacted by it. Then the final enactment of the movement text, while I read the proverb as a soundtrack. David particularly seemed pleased and surprised that it was fun. He had been worried as the director of the team that it might feel odd to them to do this sort of art-based practice with each other since they know each other through work, not play. I felt very gratified that he let me know he felt that way before I left. And I returned to the hubbub of San Francisco with a sense of pride and delight.